Good morning, good morning. It's Nick Pendergast here from Clarity Kent Counselling, your menopause therapist, therapeutic coach. I wanted to jump on today to talk a little bit about menopause rage or menopause or Meno-rage as it's called. I wanted to get this out last week, sort of in conjunction with November the 5th and firework night, but I'm here now and I want to talk about Meno-rage. And absolutely, Meno-rage is a thing. And it can build up out of nowhere, can't it? If you've experienced Meno-rage, it can really catch you in a breath, whether it's maybe the kids leaving a mess around the house, maybe it's the irritation of a noisy eater, or it could be the mere fact that your husband or your partner is breathing heavily. I know I've been there too. The trigger can come really quickly without really giving us time to reflect on it. And then we can find ourselves projecting our rage on the nearest thing or maybe the nearest person closest to us. But firstly, what's going on for us physiologically for that red mist, as it's called, to descend? Now, the rage occurs, not surprisingly, due to our fluctuating hormones. So, yes, it's an estrogen thing again. And declining estrogen affects the production of serotonin. And serotonin is one of our happy hormones. And this can lead us to feeling emotionally vulnerable, wiped out, and sometimes enraged. So, Meno-rage does actually feel quite different to typical anger due to the intensity of the emotional flare up. And healthcare providers actually observe that women with strong menopause, perimenopause symptoms are actually more likely to experience rage during perimenopause. But actually, our experience of Meno-rage and irritability can actually be quite informative for us, and it can highlight areas in our life or relationships that are no longer working for us or outdated, as I like to call it. Maybe coping strategies that worked for us in the past no longer do, and then we have to rewrite those coping strategies, those narratives. Now, if you've listened to me before or my blogs, you know that I do harp on about the window of tolerance. And this is key because with estrogen fluctuating during perimenopause, and it does a little bit of a roller coaster, which we know links to serotonin, our happiness chemical, then we do find ourselves in situations where we no longer tolerate situations. But yet the plus point for us is that we can feel stronger and put healthier boundaries in place to keep us safe. So it's all about listening to our bodies and those AKA those emotional explosions that come up for us, and letting us know that we need to pay attention to ourselves. We need to look after ourselves and prioritize our self-care and our emotional health. So really, it's seeing this as a time of opportunity and possibility to re-evaluate aspects of our life and recognize what we can do to let go and give ourselves time to heal. Remembering what resists persists, and we actually need to feel to heal. So what can we do to help ourselves with the Meno-rage? First of all, I talk about the momentary pause, as I like to call it. So when you're next triggered, stop, take a breath, take yourself out of the situation if you can. Sit quietly and focus on your breathing. And the 4-4-4 breath can help with that, as can others, such as your alternate nostril breathing, just to calm your autonomic nervous system, that rest and digest space. Breath work is invaluable, and you can go to classes for that, talk to specialists, or DIY, do it yourself with the various breath work available. Mindful meditation, apps such as Calm, Headspace, and Insight Timer can help with that, or classes, I attended one yesterday as part of an MCAS support group. Just following on from my blog, I've been recently diagnosed with mast cell activation syndrome, which is a long-term chronic illness. And yesterday, attending that mindful class really helped to calm my nervous system. Yoga can help too, connecting to mind and body, focusing on the mind whilst providing a physical outlet through various postures. Physical activity, aerobic, dancing, running, even hoovering. If you're local to me in Tunbridge in Kent, then look up Caroline Kerslake at Complete Fitness and Wellbeing, from online classes, everything from balance classes to cardio to bands. Be creative, art, pottery, whatever floats your boat. I've recently returned to crocheting, cross stitch, really to distract and focus my mind to alleviate irritability and rage. Journal, if that's something like you to do, write out your feelings and emotions. But also think about lifestyle choices as well. I'm talking alcohol, sugar, ultra-processed foods, nicotine. All those things can contribute to low mood, and we know those things increase inflammation in our bodies during perimenopause and midlife. Naturopathy and things like vitamin B complex and John's wort, CBD oil and chamomile tea may compound your triggers. Again, I'm not a naturopath, but these things might help. Consider dehydration or low blood sugar. Make sure you have your 2 litres of water throughout the day and maybe an afternoon snack just to manage those blood sugar levels. And keeping to a sleep routine is key as well, and introducing rest periods during the week and during the days, as I like to call them, the self-care. Your emotional stress. We all get stressed, so practice yoga, go out for a walk in nature, or literally sitting down with a cup of something. And just on that, what do I do as a menopause therapist? I work with something called the EMBERS model, which is a menopause-informed psychological care framework, which aims to educate, validate, and empower us ladies to implement strategies to regain control over our life, our body and mind during the menopause transition. This could be during perimenopause and postmenopause, remembering that menopause is just one day, a point in time when we've no longer had a period for 12 months. But what's great about this model, it's a comprehensive therapeutic approach, integrating an understanding of both the psychological, emotional, and the physiological changes us ladies experience during menopause, whilst also considering the broader context of life. So any living losses we're going through, looking after elderly parents, kids, caring for parents, difficult relationships, work, the challenges with work, for example, reclaiming our identity, our passion, our purpose. So this approach not only addresses symptoms, but also considers factors such as physical and mental health status, relationships, and work and life stresses. So it's a little bit different from typical, if you like, therapy. It's a lot of psychoeducation and basically avoidant discovery to say, how can you regain control over your life and see perimenopause and menopause as a time of possibility and opportunity. So if you are interested, do DM me, contact me through Clarity Kent Counselling, and we can set up a 20-minute chat and I can see how I can support you. And if you're in the HR profession, I can absolutely support you because I've been there, done there, worn the t-shirt and been HR for 23 years of my life. And I can send you the EMBERS quiz to do too. So bye for now, and I'll be back with another video shortly.